In this video, I'm going to talk to you all about why you have been anxious. Yo, what's going on? It's Coach Jay. I'm back with yet another video. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Like this video and shoot me a comment as well if this was valuable to you. So, anxiety, being anxious, all of the above, man. Why am I able to talk about this? So, I've been working as a mindset and mental health coach for the past 3 years, and I've been a certified coach since 2019. I want to go ahead and let me go ahead and give you some more credentials. Psychology major, organizational leadership masters. I've worked with over probably 750 to 1,000 clients at this point, one-on-one. Thousands and thousands of hours of working with people, research, all of the things, all of the above. I just want to let you know that I'm not just on here just talking about what it is that I think and what I make. You know, I know what I'm talking about, all right? So, why are you anxious? There's a couple of reasons. I'll talk more specifically from my perspective. First things first, man. A lot of us men are anxious because we are thinking about things that are out of our control. That's number one. And it's number one because as men, we are conditioned and we think that we have to have the answers for every single thing that goes on in life. With our family, with our partners, with ourselves, with our jobs, everything. We're like, all right, so I'm the man, so that means I got to get it figured out. And even if it's not necessarily from a man perspective, a lot of people may think that even if you're a woman that's watching this video, you may think that you have to have the answer to everything. Like you may be thinking, all right, so what happens if the world ends tomorrow? What am I going to do? Now you're stressing yourself out. Now you're thinking, all right, well, maybe I can, I can't. Now you're stuck and now you're anxious because you have no solution. So the reason that you're anxious is for that exactly. Think about some situation in your world right now where you're thinking about, okay, there may be a situation where maybe you're at your job, maybe you're about to lose your job, or you think you're about to lose your job, or maybe that's your friend or your siblings going through, or somebody in your family that you're trying to figure out and you're trying to fix, but you can't. And you're thinking about, how can I find a solution? How can I find a solution? How can I fix this? And you can't. So one of the things I want to give to you all right now is that whenever you have a situation that you can't control, think about all the elements that you can control, right? So there may be a situation where, I don't know, just think about a situation in your mind right now, and you think and you're trying to figure out solutions to the whole entire thing, the whole problem. But once again, you can't because everything's out of your control. Most things are out of your control. Find the elements of the situation that you can control and focus only on that. And once you focus only on what you can control and you do what you can in the situation to influence it to the best of your ability, you got to let it go. As hard as that sounds, I know that sounds hard. I know it sounds awful. How can I just let it? Because if you don't, the more anxiety is going to creep up on you. The more you're going to think about different scenarios, different reasons that's probably not going to work out because you can't do anything. Like imagine that you are trapped in a box and you see the key across the room and the box won't open and you're looking for different ways and strategies to get the key and there's nothing you can do. And you keep thinking about scenario, you're going to just stress yourself the hell out, right? But imagine if you were in that same box and you just said, you know what? It is what it is for right now. I'm just going to focus on my peace. I'm going to focus on where I am right now. I'm gonna meditate. It sounds like giving up, but instead it's just accepting. It's like it is what it is. I can't do anything about it, right? So that's one reason. You're thinking about scenarios that you have no influence over. You can't control it. You're not Superman. You're not God. You cannot influence every single thing. So you have to accept certain things. The second reason that you're probably anxious right now is because of your relationship with the word of anxiety. Now, a lot of us are conditioned to think that anxiety is 100% bad, like, oh, let's stay away from anxiety. Let's not even address it, or if it's happened, if I feel butterflies and something's wrong. But that's not the case. See, if you understood that you had a bad relationship with anxiety, then you would try to work on changing it. So perfect example, I used to have a coworker, so just a little bit of background story about me and what I used to do. Starting off, this is why I'm able to talk like this, because I started off as a training consultant. So what I would basically do is I would be on video talking and training teams every single day. Every day, I will be in front of the classroom talking about different topics such as emotional intelligence, conflict resolution, leadership skills, and all of the above. And I had a coworker of mine, I'm not going to say his name on here, but if he sees the video at some point, he'll know who I'm talking about. But I had a coworker, and he taught me this phrase that stuck with me to this point. Now, mind you, I used to be the absolute worst public speaker in the world ever, and that's why I'm so surprised. Not gonna say I'm surprised I'm doing this, but anyways, I used to be the worst public speaker in the world. I remember back when I was in college, I used to get I had to give presentations for class, and there would be times where I'm sitting here talking about something as simple as, since it's relevant right now, I'll be talking about a Kendrick Lamar album back then, and I was like, hey, I think these are some, like, it would be like pointless topics in college classes, like, hey, like, give a presentation on your favorite album or your favorite artist, and I was like, oh, I fuck with Kendrick Lamar, so let me talk about Kendrick Lamar. All right, so Kendrick Lamar is, he's great. This album was fire because of this, and I'll be in my presentation talking. I'm like, yeah, this is why, Kendrick is the GOAT, blah, blah, blah. Then I would just freeze. And when I froze, it was so bad. Like, it was embarrassing. Like, everybody would be looking at their phone the whole time, and then as soon as I froze, they'd look up like, what the hell going on? Like, what's wrong with this dude? But I'm saying all that to say, before I got comfortable with speaking in front of people and speaking, about me and whatever it is that I was talking about, I always used to get super bad anxiety all the time. And I'm not going to say I don't now. I do. I definitely still get anxiety. Not necessarily in this space, but more so like on stage and things like that. But one thing that my coworker that he told me, and we were teaching a class on how to present. And one thing we would tell people is, people be like, how do I stop getting nervous? Like, how do I actually stop feeling those butterflies or that sweat that comes in my hands and things like that? So for me personally, my hands start sweating real bad before I start to speak. My heart be beating. I'm like, oh shit, it be going. But one thing I had to realize was that anxiety, just because I was sweaty, my hands were sweating, didn't necessarily mean that I was scared. I had to change that perspective, or that saying was, I was sweaty because I'm scared. And shout out to my guy for this. I had to change that. I'm sweaty because I'm scared, because I'm sweaty because I'm ready. You know what I mean? It's a little cheesy, but what I'm saying is that when you have anxiety, sometimes that does not mean that you're scared or that you're like nervous all the time. Like, you're just super nervous and you can't do it. Like, you need to run. It's not telling you to run all the time. It's telling you, like, all right, let's do it. Let's get it. Let's go. Not saying all the time, but sometimes, especially in like a performance aspect, performance anxiety, sports, speaking, talking with people, socially, you get that anxiety because ultimately you're just ready to go ahead and start. You're ready to go ahead and get it going. So instead of you looking at your anxiety like, oh, I'm scared, look at it like, oh, I'm feeling this. I'm feeling the butterflies because I'm ready to go. I'm ready to let's get it. You know what I'm saying? So I want you to change your perspective on anxiety as well. The last reason I believe that you're anxious right now is because you're not actively talking about it. You're not normalizing it. You're not making it normal to say, oh, I'm nervous, I'm scared, I'm feeling a little anxious. You try to hide it. And the more you try to hide it, act like it's not there, the more it's going to show up. There's a saying that I want y'all to be aware of. It's called, it says, what we resist persists. So what we're saying, or what that saying is, the more you try to push things away or say, oh, that's not real. No, I'm not anxious. I'm cool. Look, I used to try to do that all the time. I ain't gonna lie. Like, I remember when I was, back in college, I'm gonna reference college a lot because I had a lot of good experiences there that I learned a lot about myself. When I was in college, I remember I was running for Homecoming King. And a part of running for Homecoming King, you had to speak in front of the audience. It was like probably like 150, 200 people in that room. You had to answer a question like a panel. Like, they would come up and ask you a random. You had to introduce yourself first. You had to walk up to the stage like, hey, my name is Jaylin. I'm a part of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated, and I'm representing this, whatever you had to say. So you would do that, and then you would go and you would answer a random question that they would ask you. So I remember when I went into the actual auditorium, there was one, the president of the organization, one girl or whatever, she came up to me, and I was fresh, had my crispy suit on, man. I was looking good, I was feeling good. I think I might have had like a shot or two before, just get the nerves off. Feel me? And I'm not saying do that, but that was just my college story. So took my shot or two, went to the auditorium or the wherever they were having it, and she asked me, she was like, "Hey, are you nervous?" I was like, "Come on, me? Really? I can't be. Come on, it can't be. I ain't nervous. I'm good. I do this." And again, by that time, I felt a little bit better from that Kendrick Lamar presentation, but that's probably like 2 years later, but I was still nervous inside. And I'm saying all that to say that, let me finish that story first. Yes, I did do well in that presentation. I think I did answer my questions well and everything. I actually ended up making the court. I actually lost the king crown. I came in maybe third or something like that. It was cool. I lost to my guy Noah. It's all good. Shout outs to him. I was pissed that day, but shout out to my boy. But what I'm saying is that you have to address when you're actually feeling a certain emotion or feeling that anxiety that's there. because the more you try to run away from it, the more it's gonna chase you. Like it's like it's chasing you, like Scooby-Doo. Like it's gonna, Scooby-Doo, you run in different rooms and you run in this room and you run in that room. It's gonna be right behind you because you trying to run away from it. So I'm saying to address that anxiety that may be there, because ultimately that will help you come to terms with, like, yeah, I am, I'm feeling a little nervous, I'm feeling a little anxious, but that's okay. You gotta normalize it. It's all right. It's cool. It's for a reason. I'm sweaty because I'm ready. Normalize that you feel the way that you do, and likely you'll start to develop a different relationship with. So that's my video for today. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Leave me a comment on what you want to see next, what you want to see more of, and also like this video if this was valuable to you. Peace.